Imagine this. You're sitting there, staring at your phone, waiting for a message that never comes. Or maybe you're replaying that conversation in your head, wondering if you ever truly meant something to that person who now seems so distant. There's a knot in your stomach, a mix of hope and doubt that won't let you rest. But what if I told you that Carl Jung, one of the deepest minds in psychology, discovered that within you there are hidden signs, whispers from your soul that already know the truth? You don't need to keep guessing whether they care or not, because your unconscious already holds the answers. Today, we're going to uncover those signs together, based on Jung's revolutionary ideas. And I promise you that by the end of this video, not only will you understand if that distant person really cares, but you'll also reconnect with the powerful, authentic woman within you. So stay with me. This is going to change the way you see your relationships and yourself. Carl Jung discovered something that may sound simple, but is profoundly transformative. There is an entire world inside you, an invisible universe he called the unconscious. It's not just a place where forgotten memories are stored, it's a living force that speaks to you constantly. But here's the problem. In the chaos of everyday life, dates, work, family expectations, the pressure to be the perfect woman that we feel in Mexico, Colombia, or even in the fast-paced cities of the United States, we've learned to ignore that voice. And when it comes to love and relationships, that disconnection leaves us feeling lost. How many times have you felt that something wasn't right with someone, but you brushed it off thinking, maybe it's just me, or held on to a relationship that drained you because you didn't want to be alone? Jung would say those aren't coincidences, they're messages from your unconscious, trying to protect you and guide you toward what you truly deserve. Think of a situation we've all experienced. You meet someone who seems perfect. They text you, call you, make you feel special. But suddenly something shifts. They pull away. Their replies grow cold. And you're left wondering what you did wrong. Your mind starts coming up with excuses. They're just busy. Maybe they need space. But your body feels something else. There's tension in your chest, a gut feeling you can't explain. Jung taught us that this intuition isn't madness or insecurity. It's your unconscious speaking in its own language. It doesn't use words. It speaks through symbols, sensations, and intuition. And when you ignore it, you're turning away from a truth you already know deep down. If someone pulls away, it's not always because of you, but it's always a signal of what that relationship truly means. Now pause with me for a moment. Take a deep breath. Think back to the last time you felt that feeling. Maybe it was with an ex, a friend, or the person who's on your mind right now. What was your body telling you? What did you feel deep inside, beyond what you wanted to believe? Jung would say that's the key. Your unconscious never lies. And today, we're going to learn to listen to it, so you no longer have to question your worth or beg for scraps of attention. Let's talk about the shadow, one of Jung's most fascinating concepts. The shadow is the part of you that you hide, the side you don't want to see. It's your fears, your insecurities, those moments when you felt not good enough. And here's an uncomfortable but liberating truth. When someone pulls away and you're left wondering if you're worthy, it's not just about them. It's your shadow rising to the surface. Imagine you're in Bogota having coffee with friends, and one of them says, "He's not texting me back because he's probably with someone better." Or you're in Los Angeles scrolling through Instagram, comparing yourself to those perfect photos. In that moment, it's not him making you feel small. It's your shadow whispering doubts that were already inside you. But Jung didn't see the shadow as an enemy. To him, it was a teacher. If you listen to it, if you dare to look, it will show you exactly what needs to be healed, so you no longer rely on anyone else's validation. So how do you know if they really care, even when they're pulling away? One of the first hidden signs Jung invites us to see is how you feel when that person is not around. If their absence sends you into a spiral of self-criticism, if you start questioning your beauty, your intelligence, your worth, that's not love reflected in you. That's your shadow asking for attention. But if you can feel at peace, if their absence doesn't rob you of your calm, then you're tapping into something deeper, your authenticity. Jung would say that a relationship aligned with your essence doesn't make you doubt who you are. It elevates you. So ask yourself right now, when that person pulls away, do you feel more like yourself or less? Hold on to that answer. We'll return to it later. Here's a practical example you can apply today. Let's say you're stuck in traffic in Mexico City's Condesa neighborhood and you get a dry message from the person who's been on your mind. Instead of responding right away or overthinking your reply, do this. Close your eyes for a second. Place your hand over your chest. Breathe. Ask yourself, what am I feeling here? If you feel anxiety, fear, or a desperate need to fix things, that's your unconscious signaling that something is misaligned. Jung believed that our emotions are compasses. Use that compass today and tell me in the comments, what did you discover? What did you feel when you did this? I want to read your story because your words not only help you, they inspire this community of brave women who are awakening together. Before we continue, I want you to do something for me and for yourself. If this is already resonating with you, give this video a like and share it. Imagine this. You're with that friend who always overanalyzes every message from her crush. This isn't just another video. It's a personal revolution that begins with you. And if you're not subscribed yet, do it now and hit the notification bell, because what's coming next is going to be even more powerful. We're going to uncover how your unconscious mind reveals whether that person deserves your energy. And it all connects to what Carl Jung called projection. But first, let's let this settle in for a moment. Breathe with me again. Inhale, exhale. Perfect. Now let's continue exploring these hidden signals your soul already knows. Let's talk about energy, because Jung knew it's not just about your thoughts. It's also about what you feel in your body. Have you ever been around someone who leaves you feeling drained? Picture this. You're in Medellin sharing lunch with him. At first, things flow. But then, his words start to weigh you down, or his indifference makes you feel invisible. You go home, and even though you should feel happy, you feel empty. Jung would say that's no coincidence. That's your unconscious mind warning you that this person is draining your sacred energy. Your energy is like a treasure, a gift that allows you to shine, love, and chase your dreams. And when someone takes from it without giving anything in return, your unconscious feels it long before your mind accepts it. Here's another practical tool. The next time you're with that person, pay attention to how you feel afterward. Do you leave with a full heart or empty hands? If it's the latter, don't ignore it. Jung taught us that protecting your energy isn't selfish. It's an act of self-love. And if you keep saying yes to someone who leaves you drained, you're saying no to the woman you're meant to become. So tell me in the comments, who in your life is draining you? Name it without labeling them directly, and share how you feel after seeing them. Let's heal together, because this channel is our safe space. Sometimes the signs aren't obvious. It's not always physical exhaustion. Sometimes it's emotional emptiness. Think of that relationship where everything seems fine on the surface. He texts you occasionally, says nice things, but something just doesn't feel right. Maybe you're in Houston, preparing dinner for him, and even though he's physically there, he feels emotionally absent. Jung would say that emptiness is your unconscious showing you a disconnection. It's not that he doesn't care, it's that he's not aligned with what your soul truly needs. And here's the twist. You don't have to keep forcing it. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means choosing yourself. Pause with me here. Imagine you're standing at a crossroads, one path where you keep fighting for someone who keeps pulling away, and another where you give yourself permission to shine, without needing their attention. Which do you choose today? Reflect on that, because in the next part, we'll explore how Jung explained that what you see in another person is actually a reflection of yourself. And believe me, this will change everything. So stay with me, share this video with someone who needs it, and get ready for what's coming next. If you've made it this far, It's because something deep inside of you is already resonating with these hidden signs Carl Jung left us, like a map to navigate our relationships and our self-love. We just talked about how your unconscious mind warns you when someone isn't aligned with you, through that feeling in your chest, the unexplained exhaustion, or the emptiness you feel even when everything seems fine. But now we're going to go even deeper. Because Jung didn't just give us tools to listen to our soul. He also showed us that what we see in others, especially in that person who's pulling away, is a mirror of what we carry inside ourselves. This is called projection. And today, you'll learn how to use it, not only to know whether they really care, but more importantly, to take back your power in the process. Imagine this. You're in Cali, dancing salsa with your friends, and suddenly you get a message from him. It's short, distant, and even though you try not to care, something inside you breaks. You start thinking, if I were more fun, prettier, more interesting, he wouldn't be acting this way. Sound familiar? Jung would say that thought isn't just about him. It's a projection of your shadow, that part of you that you still haven't embraced. When someone pulls away and you start blaming yourself, you're not seeing the truth about them. You're seeing your own unhealed wounds reflected in their behavior. And here's the secret. Understanding this can free you from the constant need to prove that you're worthy. Projection, according to Jung, is like a hall of mirrors. Everything you love or hate in someone else has its roots in you. If it drives you crazy that he doesn't reach out, it's not just because he's distant. It's because a part of you is afraid you're not enough. But it works the other way too. If something in him attracts you, his confidence, his way of making you laugh, it's because those qualities already exist in you. They're just waiting to be recognized. So next time you feel hurt by his distance, ask yourself this. What is this showing me about myself? What part of my shadow is asking me to look at her? I'll give you a moment to reflect. Breathe with me. Inhale. Exhale. What did you see? Write that answer in the comments, because sharing it not only gives you clarity, it connects you to this community of women who are growing together. Now let's apply this to a real situation. Say you're in Guadalajara sitting in a cafe, and it's been days since you heard from him. Your mind starts spinning. He must be with someone else. He's not interested anymore. But Jung would invite you to pause and look beyond. Why does his silence hurt you so much? Maybe deep down, you're afraid of being left alone, a fear that's been with you for years. Perhaps since that time you felt invisible at home, or with an ex who never valued what you gave. That pain isn't really about him. It's your projection showing you something you need to heal. Here's a practical action. Take a notebook and write down 3 things that hurt you about his attitude. Then, beside each one, write how those things remind you of something within yourself. For example, he ignores me could become, I feel ignored when I don't give myself my own space. Do it today, and tell me in the comments what you discovered. This is powerful, and I want to know how it transforms you. But it's not all pain. Projection also shows you what does matter. If when he pulls away, you still feel strong, if his absence doesn't steal your peace, that's a sign from your unconscious that you're connected to your authenticity. Jung believed that relationships aligned with your essence don't make you feel less. They inspire you to be more. Think about that friend in New York who, even though she's thousands of miles away, always makes you feel seen with a simple message. That's the energy you deserve. So, what happens when he distances himself? If his distance makes you doubt yourself, that's not love. That's a lesson. But if you can let go without losing yourself, that's a clue that he truly cares, because his absence doesn't destroy you. Let's talk about letting go, because Jung taught us that releasing isn't giving up. It's an act of power. Imagine you're in Barranquilla, walking on the beach, deciding to let go of a relationship that weighs you down. You don't answer that lukewarm message that arrives after days of silence, and suddenly you feel a relief, like you dropped a backpack full of stones. Jung would say that relief is your unconscious celebrating your choice to align with your truth. When you let go of someone who doesn't value you, you're telling the universe, I deserve more, and the universe listens. The right people start coming, those who don't make you doubt your light. Here's another practical tool for you. Next time you feel him pulling away, don't rush to chase him. Instead, do something for you. Play that song that makes you dance alone in your room. Cook that recipe that reminds you of your grandmother. Or take a walk through your favorite neighborhood, whether it's Bogota or Miami. Notice how you feel afterward. If your energy rises, if you feel more like yourself, that's your sign that you don't need his attention to shine. Share in the comments what you did and how you felt. These small actions build your self-love, and I want to celebrate that with you. Pause for a second with me. Imagine you're standing in front of him, and instead of begging him to stay, you calmly say, "I choose my peace." How does that feel? Jung would say that moment of courage is when your unconscious and consciousness align. And when that happens, you start to see magical signs in your life. Jung called this irony. Have you noticed that when you let go of something that doesn't serve you, suddenly an opportunity, a message, or a person who truly sees you appears? That's no coincidence. It's the universe responding to your authenticity. Let's talk about those signs of synchronicity because they're key to knowing if you really matter to him. Imagine he distances himself, but just when you decide to focus on yourself, he sends a deep message, something that shows he is thinking of you. Jung would say that synchronicity is a clue that there is a real connection, but only if you don't lose yourself in the process. Because here's the truth. If you matter to him, his distance won't be a game to control you. It will be space that respects your value. But if his absence only leaves you empty, that's your unconscious telling you to move on. Before we continue, do this for me. Like this video if you're feeling that inner click and share it with the friend who needs to hear this. Subscribe and hit the notification bell because in the next part we'll close this journey with Jung's clearest signs that he cares and how to transform your life from within. But first, breathe with me again. Inhale, exhale, perfect. What's coming next is pure magic, so stay with me. If you're here with me now, it's because you're already feeling how Carl Jung's ideas are illuminating those hidden signals in your relationships and in your heart. We've just explored how projection shows that what you feel about someone who pulls away is actually a reflection of yourself, and how letting go isn't losing, but gaining your power. We also touched on synchronicity, that magical dance of the universe that confirms you're on the right path. Now we're going to close this journey with Jung's clearest signs to know if you really matter to him, even if he distances himself, and how to use all this to build a life so authentic and full that you never doubt your worth again. This is for you, brave woman. So get ready, because what's coming is transformative. Let's begin with a truth that Jung gave us. The unconscious not only warns you when something is wrong, but also shows you when something is real. Imagine you are in Monterey, looking at the Cerro de la Silla from your window, and you haven't heard from him for days. But suddenly, an unexpected message arrives. Not an empty hello, but something that makes you feel seen. I thought of you today. Jung would say that synchronicity is no coincidence. It's a sign that there is a deeper connection, one that transcends distance. But here's the trick. It's not just about what he does, but how you feel. If that message fills you without you having to beg for more, it's a clue that you matter to him. But if it leaves you hungry for something that never arrives, your unconscious already knows you deserve more. Pause with me for a second. Take a deep breath, inhale, exhale. Think about that person who is pulling away. What does your intuition tell you when he's near and when he's not? Jung believed intuition is like a lighthouse in the fog. If his presence lifts you up and his absence doesn't destroy you, that's a sign you really matter to him. But if his distance pushes you to chase him or change who you are to keep him, that's not love. It's a lesson from your shadow asking you to heal. Make a note of that in your mind and share in the comments what your intuition tells you about him. I want to read you because your words are the heart of this community. Let's talk about a practical sign you can see today. Jung taught us that people who truly value you don't make you feel invisible. Imagine you are in Miami, walking along South Beach, and he calls you after days of silence. It's not just what he says, but how he says it. Does he really listen to you? Does he make you feel like your voice matters? Or do you end up talking only about him, leaving your emotions aside? Jung would say authentic love is reflected in reciprocity. If his distance comes with respect, with small gestures that show he thinks of you, that's a sign you matter to him. But if his absence is a void you have to fill with excuses, your unconscious is already shouting for you to move on. Here's a tool to apply now. The next time you talk to him, pay attention to how that conversation leaves you. Ask yourself these questions. Do I feel lighter or heavier? Do I see myself reflected in his words or erased by his indifference? Write your answers in a notebook or on your phone. And if you feel like it, share them in the comments. This isn't just theory, it's a practical way to use Jung's ideas to protect your energy and your peace. Because you, woman, are not here to beg for love. You are here to shine. Now let's talk about what happens when you decide to choose yourself. Jung believed that fulfillment doesn't come from clinging to someone who pulls away, but from reconnecting with your authenticity. Imagine you're in Bogota, sitting in a park with a cup of coffee, and you decide to let go of that relationship that keeps you on edge. You don't answer that late message, not because you're playing games, but because you know what you deserve. And then something magical happens. Your energy changes. You start noticing that the friends who truly see you reach out more. That project you had left forgotten reignites your passion. That's Jung's synchronicity in action. When you align with your truth, the universe responds with people and opportunities that reflect your light. Here's an example that will resonate with you. Suppose you're in Los Angeles, working in an exhausting office, and you've been waiting months for him to give you a clear sign of commitment. But one day, inspired by these Jungian ideas, you decide to focus on yourself. You sign up for that yoga class you always wanted to try, or start that baking business you dreamed of since childhood. And just when you least expect it, someone new appears. Not him, but someone who looks at you like you are a treasure. Jung would say that's not luck. It's your unconscious and the universe aligning because you dared to let go of what didn't serve you. Let's take a pause to reflect. Imagine your life without that person who is pulling away. What would you do with all that time and energy? What dreams have you paused out of fear of being alone? Jung taught us that the emptiness you feel when letting go isn't a punishment. It's a sacred space for something new to grow. So tell me in the comments, what would you do if you gave yourself permission to choose you? First, I want you to visualize it, because that's the beginning of your transformation. Now here's the closing message I want you to really hear. You truly matter to someone when their distance doesn't make you doubt your worth. When their absence respects your light instead of dimming it. But more importantly, you matter to yourself when you decide not to settle for less than you deserve. This journey isn't just about him, it's about you, the strong woman awakening to her authenticity. Jung showed us that life isn't about searching outside for what you already have inside. It's about remembering who you are and living from that place of power and fulfillment. Before I say goodbye, I want you to do something for this community and for yourself. If this message touched your heart, like this video and share it with that friend, sister, or cousin who needs to remember her worth. Subscribe and hit the notification bell because every week we bring more tools like these so you can keep growing. And in the comments, tell me, what hidden sign did you discover today? What will you let go of to align with your truth? Your words don't just inspire me, they inspire all the women reading and searching for their path.